Hello everyone, Sheek here with another Transformers review, and today I'll be reviewing the Perfection Series 1/5 Fraudo, a guy that could sell junk to a Junkion and sell his own grandmother, if he had a grandmother, closest thing to apparently has a Starscream, and I know that they probably don't really care too much for each other, but whatever, enough blathering on. We'll have him out and about, and with all his accessories, and with the alternate face. I like this kind of used car salesman face. I think looks absolutely fitting on this character. He does have, I do have the original face, it's just like, I don't know, kind of like a frown, but I mean, I guess considering some of the situations he's been in, that's not too far from the truth either. Although I do like this a lot more. He does come with a character card, of course. And there is his specs and his bio, if you'd like to read that. But yeah, he, pretty much business above all else, but, I mean, I think he even tried selling out his team at one point in the show. Not really sure, but he has some really nice detail. You can store this on his leg for robot mode, I guess, either side. Same with this gun, it can go on either shoulder. And this gun is actually pretty nice. This obviously is meant more for his Jeep mode. And it pretty much just attaches on the side of this thing. And then the other gun, one that he's holding, would go on the other side, which is, I wouldn't say exactly a gun, it just looks like pretty much just a tiny little rocket launcher. I guess that spins, I'm not sure if it comes off, but you can then plug that in right there. And then, now I haven't successfully done, because I always forget when I'm transforming him, but this does clip between his legs. You have to close it between his legs when you're transforming him, otherwise you're going to have to probably untransform him a bit just to put his weapon storage, which I think is pretty nifty considering that he is a military vehicle that would have a gun mount available, or at least an option to put there. He does have, like I said, a really nice noggin, nice purple eyes. Definitely reminds me of the animated one. I know the animated one, of course, is heavily influenced by the G1, but it kind of makes me think of, like, I know he died, but the voice actor for animated Swindle seems like the perfect guy for him. Anyway, little too much of a, well, sidebar, I guess. But
he does have a lot of wobbly. You can look down a bit, you can look up a bit. Arms can go out that far. Really stiff friction, not ratchet. There's not a lot of ratchets on these guys, if you've noticed. Over 90 degree bent at the elbow. Of course, wrist rotation. His aren't as stiff, and I'm not as afraid of breaking his now. That'd be funny if I say that and then I break him on camera. Fingers crossed that doesn't happen. It's only happened like a couple times. Naval Commander. Okay. And then also there's this vehicle mode spare tire. Sticks on quite well in robot mode, not so well in vehicle mode, is a bit of a nuisance. Waist rotation, he does not have an ab crunch, but I think that has more to do with his transformation. Legs can go out that far. Thigh swivel, about 90 degree bend at the knees, and he does have ankle tiltage. If you notice, his feet are pretty much the combiner foot, and then he has heel spurs, but then there is the combiner heels up there. And there's another jet flying over. So that's about it for his robot mode. I guess it's time for transformation. So, pretty much just want to get his hands back. Most of it's pretty much collapsing their hands, just don't really want their thumb getting in the way. And just open up his forearm, flip in, rotate around, collapse in, and then same on this side. There we go, now he has nubbins for arms. And then, to focus on next, I gotta take this off. Like I said, sits on pretty well in robot mode. Then, get this out of here, and then that's before I forget, because it's really hard to remember, but kind of need to have that flipped out. I always have it enabled so it's easier to get out. That's part of the grill in the Jeep mode. Extend his waist, then pull out. As you can see, it's starting to open up quite a bit. And then, pivot this right here, and then you're gonna want to rotate this assembly around. Okay, so it might actually help to flip out these tires first. Goes out, and then rotate around. Before we collapse this back down, it would definitely be a good idea to rotate this around. And as you can see, there is the part where I was telling you, I had a tendency to forget that part, that step. Just rotate the headlights around, flip these parts, and this is the only part I had to modify in him. So far on this kit, I've only had to modify him and Vortex. Vortex is a lot more work, if you've seen that video. I had to trim this peg down so you can see the stress marks. I was afraid that this was going to snap off because it went together too well. That's why I snapped that part off. Alright, so collapse this back down. There's his head. Hello. And then there's another jet. And just get these arms rotated around. The arm rotated around. And then it will tap into the side up here and up here. And then same on the side. Tap in and tap in. The steering wheel doesn't move around too much. It is a solid disc with, I mean, I'm glad it is. If it wasn't, this thing would probably already have broken. Okay, so then make sure that the waist, I think it's on the right proper side, because if you have it backwards, you can't really rotate it around. If I remember right, you do have to rotate his waist around for combined mode, but we'll look at that in a bit. So just push those in, get the bumper or wheel guard thing flipped around, connected I should say, and then for the legs, I'm gonna untab this, and then also you want to flip these forward, which is actually the car seats, which I think is pretty cool, or at least part of the car seats. There we are. Or the seats in the car. Car seats just makes it sound like it's for, I don't know, little kids. Okay, then for the heels, for both him and Brawl, you kind of need to pull it back and then rotate, because there is this tab to keep it strongly in place for combined mode, I'm sure, so you don't want the heel to, you know, give out. That would not be good for anyone. There we are. Collapse the foot down, and then, oh, before we put these together, might be also a good idea, go ahead and untab this, untab this. And then you're going to just collapse his legs, at least a little bit initially, and then you're going to have to do it the rest of the way. There we are. Just get that pushed in. There's another thing right down here. There we are. This part you also have to pull out just a little bit. So get this open, because this also helps lock the leg into place. There we are. And then just get pushed into place. And there's another jet flying over it, but get that not fully in, just so that we can get his guns on. Okay, there we are. Come on, now it's in the way. Okay. Oh, that's what it is. I think not quite pushed down enough. Okay, there shouldn't be too much trouble now. These are lined up, and they're really flying today, I guess. I mean, good thing. Okay, so get that tabbed in, and that's actually a very nice clearance, and it just looks like pull stuck in there, and I guess because they didn't want to put, I don't know, a couple halves. I guess they wanted it to be really secure. I don't have too many gripes about that. I mean, if they want to make it nice and secure. Only downside is that it would, I'm just afraid, it's like, where else am I going to push on to get this thing to collapse? Okay, this leg is still being problematic. I'm not exactly sure what happened. I just fully extended both legs and just tried to get them lined up again. So go ahead and just press those together, close these up, flip back in, and then just push down the seat backs. There we are. Rotate. So hard. Fingers sore from all the toy fiddling yesterday. There we are. Yeah, I know. These are all being done, filmed anyway. So I know kind of what's it called. Not spoiler, but more like realistically, this is not all being done on separate days, because got a lot of things coming up with work that's not going to allow. And also pull those back. And then and rotate that up. This will just collapse down, like so. And then just want to extend out the front bumper, like that. Then just get lined up, just so. And here we have him in his Jeep mode. Well, almost. I mean, technically yes, but let me give him his spare tire, which will sit on there, but it is pretty loose.
And I really quite like this Jeep mode, and this is my first time seeing it with him with that on there, and it looks quite nice. Very clean Jeep mode. I like how they just have these. I mean, the only thing that kind of hints at the robot, I guess, faux grill is just that right there, but it's not that bad. Obviously, this is kind of the feet, but it doesn't really stick out too much. I mean, everything else is pretty well hidden. It is actually a really good Jeep mode. I really like it. Although the first time I transformed him, he was actually quite frustrating. As you saw, there is some frustrating bits sometimes that it's like, even with good Transformers, sometimes it's like you don't know what's going on, you try redoing it, and then it works, but you still aren't sure what it was you did wrong. Anyway, yeah, that's about it for his vehicle mode, so let's go ahead and get him into his limb configuration.
To get him into his combined mode, just want to take off that. And then before we split his legs, so we got just a little bit of work to do. Come on. Disconnect. Oh boy. Okay, that came loose. And then, split this a bit. Split apart. Pull out. Then, close back together. And most of the work is on the upper part of the Jeep. I'll collapse that. And then, I'll pull out the arms, which means I also have to lift this up first. There we are. Pick that up. And pull the arms out. And as you can see, it comes off pretty easily now. This one takes just a little bit of doing, but not enough to where I'm afraid it's going to really break. And then, it says in instructions, have you go from robot mode into combined limb mode. And then just flip these up though. Flip up, and push down, and then flip in. And then you got the big old foot. So tender, my fingertips. And don't want to flip them out separately, but you want to get this wiggled down, where it will then have into place. I want to do that on both sides. It's very nice and stiff, which is good. It's stiff, but it makes it really hard and hard on my both fingers. And that somehow, came, there we go. And put this back together. And we got a foot. And flip this panel down. And then we leave. What we do, definitely flip these out. This. Then we should collapse back in. In, tabbed in, then you want to flip that down, and flip open. There we are. Then you push this up, tabbed in like that. I did mess up. I was right. I should have listened to myself. Untab. You do rotate the waist around. Come on. Such a nuisance so that you have to untab the. Or pull out the arms to do it. Okay. Oops. At least that's all I had to do rather than. There we are. Just collapse back down. There we are. Then collapse up and close up. And as you can see, this gets fingerprints quite easily. Alright, so this tabs in right there, and this obviously tabs into there, and then tire goes right there. So you take this apart, you attach the barrel right there on the side. There we are, and then attach this right in there. We'll make sure that gets in there the right way. There we are. Like that. And there we have weapon storage for Swindle at least. And then he does have pretty decent ankle pivot as a leg.
Okay, so that is the front. And that's about it for the Perfection Series 1-5 Fraudo, aka Swindle. If you like this review and you'd like to see more, please click that like and subscribe button to see more. Until next time, have a good one, everyone.